try this again, everyone. Hi, welcome to February 2022's virtual D&D weekend streaming edition. My name is Fenway Jones, also known as Fenway the Teen DM, and I'm here to DM Dead Men Feel No Cold. This month's virtual D&D weekend is benefiting Jasper's Game Day, and actually, all of the people you see here on the screen are Jasper's Game Day ambassadors. And we are so excited to be promoting suicide prevention and awareness. If you are interested in donating, please check out the link in the chat. You can donate any amount, but there are incentives for this game if you would like to affect what happens in it. You can donate $10 for a reroll of the player of your choice. $20 for a wild magic surge, and $30 if you would like to throw a monster at these lovely players. You can choose the thematically appropriate monster. Please keep it CR appropriate, though. I think we should just hop right into this game and let these players introduce their characters. We'll start with on my screen, Bree.
Fantastic. Hi, everyone. My name's Bree. I am going to be playing Kari, the Firbolg fighter, Rune Knight specifically. Kari is a very tall Firbolg. She's about 6.5 feet tall, long blue hair and intricate braids with some beads throughout. Stoic expression on her face, some light scars from battles in the past, varying shades of green and blue on her clothing, and a very large sword on her back.
Amazing. Fantastic. Thank you for playing, Bray. And DC.
Hey everybody, I'm DC. Today I'll be playing Pederic, a Aarakocra wild magic sorcerer.
Amazing. I'm very excited. One thing that we decided previous to going live is that anytime that you make someone surge with an incentive, DC also gets to surge with his character. So I'm very for all of the wild magic. Next up is Riley.
Hi, I'm Riley, and I'm going to be playing a half-elf artificer by the name of Gudon Fierce. If you need to picture what he looks like, he is the bastard love child of Guy Fieri and Gordon Ramsay. So however that pans out for you, that's what he looks like.
So many descriptions in my head right now. Lovely. And last but certainly not least, Nick.
Hi, everyone. My name's Nick, and I will be playing Relic, a Warforged cleric of the Forge, who is about 6.5, 7 foot tall, somewhere in there. Warforged automaton made with the sleek metal with a wooden skeletal frame underneath. He doesn't really wear a lot of clothes except for a little kind of scarf around his neck and then kind of a loincloth, and that's because his stomach is a forge. He's got a little gate that opens and shuts, so wearing traditional clothing doesn't quite work out for him. He's got blue eyes and a red gem set in the center of his forehead.
Alrighty, fantastic. I think we should just hop right in. So you all of you, whether or not you know each other, have known each other previous to this specific night, you are sitting at a table in the yawning portal in the city of Waterdeep. You've had a few drinks, getting to know each other, and all of a sudden, this young kid runs in. Shouting, "My mistress needs help! Are there any adventurers willing to help her? Please?"
I am an adventurer willing to help.
Fantastic! She's in the city of the dead.
Oh, well, that sounds promising.
He's not the dead one.
Well, we can thank our lucky stars then.
Yes.
There is another dead one.
So, inquiry, was this your mother?
No. The woman that I work for. I'm her messenger.
Well, everyone, should we go and assist?
I see literally no reason not to.
I agree.
I think she said something about payment. Maybe that I don't remember, but she said something about payment, whether that was for me or for you, I'm not really quite sure. But you can ask her when we get there.
I believe that the just payment we receive comes in the afterlife for the good deeds that we complete.
Here we go again with this old tosh. I'll do it for
That's
the
the
gold.
afterlife.
We'll talk about that after.
Okay. And they just run out of.
Oh, I guess we are to head out now.
They pop their head back in. Are you coming? We're supposed to
Oh.
get back there like now.
Oh, we have a queue. All right. Go.
Kari will stand up very quickly, not really paying attention if she knocks anything over by doing so, and just starts walking after this child.
Yeah, Relic will grab the chair that Kari just broke and cast mending on it and apologize to the bartender as he follows after.
Another swig of the pint, and Gudon follows suit, and then looks back, motions to the Aarakocra. Come on then, mate.
I walk out, and I'm kind of preening myself as we're going.
Alrighty. So it takes about 20-30 minutes to get to the City of the Dead on foot. The Waterdeep is broken up into different districts. The City of the Dead is basically a very large graveyard. It is where the City of Waterdeep puts all of the dead, and they have different levels, and as well as huge mausoleums. And it is all surrounded by a black obsidian wall with a gate in front of it. The rules are you cannot get in after 9 p.m. or before 6 a.m. Right now, it's right about 7. So it's, a little early in the morning, but you had just woken up in the inn. And gate is open. You walk right in, and the kid leads you to a small gnome. She's about 2 feet tall. She's got one blue eye and one brown, dark black hair with one bright red streak. She stands out very much so, and her presence is much larger than her stature. And she just stands there looking at you. Are you the adventurers I sent for?
Affirmation. Yes.
What he said.
Lovely. And she steps aside. And on the ground, laying face first in the dirt, is human man. You can't really tell a lot about his features other than that because he's laying in the dirt. But she just looks at you and she says, "My name is Narcissus Mistletoe. This was my friend. Obviously, he's not supposed to be here. I need you to help me solve his murder."
Well, I'm very sorry for the loss of your friend. I'm sure my companions and I would be happy to help find who did this.
That would
Kari
be amazing.
Oh, I apologize. Kari turns to is it Pitterick? Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
And saying under her breath, "City of the Dead, it's a graveyard. I get it now." And then nothing.
Pederick nods, and Pederick's doing that thing parrots do where they just kind of look around with their head like this and looking down at the body all weird, looks at you, nods again.
The guards found him this morning. And and said that he had been killed approximately 6 hours previous. Which means he was here and he was not supposed to be. I don't know why, but
Inquiry: was the cause of death determined by the guards?
the cause of death, they said he was stabbed in the back of the neck. And she just points at a stab wound in the back of his.
Yes, from what I understand, for most organic creatures, such a wound is typically fatal.
Kind of tilts her head.
Oh, I apologize. It's due to all of the vital arteries and veins that are in that location. You appear to be confused.
Kari is going to poke Relic. And what would be that placement? Are there things there for you too?
You know, I try not to think too hard about what exactly it is that allows me to function. And then Relic just gets lost in the 1,000-yard stare.
Can we talk to the guards who found him?
Of course, they're off. Being the crew that will help move his body as well as prepare him for burial. But they will be back soon. I don't know if you want to investigate around here at all. I don't know what you typically do. Everyone roll me an insight check.
An 11.
Okay.
14 from Relic.
Lovely. Eric?
7.
Okay. And Gudon?
If you can believe it, 6.
Lovely. Both Kari and Relic, you are able to see this. Piterik and Gudon, you are unable to kind of pick up on the cues, which I think is interesting. Both Kari and Relic, you realize that she is kind of looking at you, not technically with disgust, more with mistrusting. You're not really sure if it's of you all specifically or if it's of adventurers in general, but you definitely pick up on hints of that in her language, her body language as well, and just tonality in general.
Are we far enough away that could I speak to anyone else in the party without them hearing?
You are right in front of her right now. So you could move away and talk to someone without her hearing, but not at the moment.
Could I run a distraction interference to maybe allow him to get away to talk to somebody? Like sort of maybe as like a performance, maybe even?
Sure, you could definitely do that.
Okay. Do you want me to roll?
Well, I want you to tell me what you're doing first, and then we'll decide what roll.
Okay. So Gudon is someone who travels the world looking for fine ingredients. And so he would naturally sort of like, sure, there's a murder about. Do you know if there's any good ingredients in the City of the Dead? It sounds like there are a lot of dead things, but I'm not sure as to the preserved nature of them, or if they'd find any good fungus, any good uses for that in, say, the catacombs, or anywhere I should be looking specific, and just like sort of bombarding her with chef-style questions of that nature.
Sure, I won't even make you roll for that.
Okay.
Because she's just kind of bewildered by that question in general. She looks at you and she goes, "There's a lot of dead people."
To people. All right.
Not really like anything. I mean, there's preserved bodies. Don't really know if that's.
Are they all humanoid, or there's some, strange creatures thrown in there, perhaps in the mix?
I think they're all humanoid. My understanding, most of the monsters and the strange creatures get not buried here. This is kind of like the sacred place in the city, and so this is not really some place that anyone goes for a fight. There might be like fungus on the edges, but the groundskeepers kind of keep the middle area kind of clean in respect to the dead.
Totally understandable. Totally understandable. And these fungus, and just like launches into a series of questions about specific funguses and mushrooms to like allow. Sorry, what's the character's name again?
Relic.
Yeah, Relic, to allow Relic to.
Yeah, I think Relic will just turn to Kari and say, observation. This figure seems to be somewhat distrustful of us, or perhaps suspicious. Is there anything that we should do to assuage their concerns, or just continue with the investigation? I'm not really sure.
I sense something similar. I thought maybe judgment, but maybe we can say something to make them feel better. Peter, what are your thoughts on this?
Pedrick just kind of looks over again, realizing you need his attention. And trust is good, but I also have a question on, do we have any authority outside the code legal in Waterdeep?
I have whatever authority is imbued by me by the Allfather Moradin.
Yes, but we're in Waterdeep. You still have to follow the code legal, and if we are to investigate, we may need to, say, use a weapon or something that kind of violates one of the tenets of the code legal in Waterdeep. And do we have authority to do that while in this investigation?
I guess that might be a good question for the guards, since, as Kari suggested, perhaps we should speak to them and see if we can essentially have their authority vested upon us.
I'm not sure how to gain this person's trust. Going back to your question, though. Not like I can just give them a handful of birdseed and they'd be appreciative.
We could try. Is that something we can try? Completely serious look on her face.
Yeah. Relic, well, I'm not quite familiar with customs in grieving the dead. Perhaps seeds to represent new life?
Seeds are food.
Oh. All right. Well, it sounds like Gudon is getting really deep into the fungus conversation over there. We should probably go intervene.
And that's the real interesting thing about mushrooms and fungus. It's never really dead. I mean, you can pick apart one part of it, and the whole system remains. It's one intravenous connected consciousness. Do you understand what I'm talking about, philosophically?
There's a purple one. I don't. It's really her answer. She just kind of looks at you like she has no idea what you're talking about. She's clearly some sort of soldier or like maybe even higher up ranking in the guard. She doesn't really know like anything about the culinary.
Excellent. Mission accomplished. I've informed another person.
She turns back to the rest of you after this informative conversation. She says, "Is there any other thing that you need from the body? I don't know."
I hope this is not an inappropriate inquiry to make, but in many of the detective novels I've read, they usually ask if the person had any enemies or someone that might want to cause harm to them.
Oh, feel like enemy is a little bit a strong term. But there are some people that did not agree with necessarily. Well, the first one, her name's Lily. She is another gnome like myself, but she's been living at the Yawning Portal ever since he took her griffin. So he's the head of the Griffin Riders here in Waterdeep. It's one of the forms of protection we have here in the city. And Lily didn't have the correct paperwork to be able to bring the Griffin into the city. At least that's what he told me. And so he confiscated her Griffin. And I guess might not have been too happy about that. I don't know if it was enough to kill him, but the other one, I guess, again, enemy is a very strong term, but Oswald, his second in command at the Griffin Riders, he was recently there was recently an election for the head of the Griffin Riders, and beat out Oswald in the election for the position, and I have a feeling that might cause some turmoil. But again, I don't know if that's enough to kill for.
This is very helpful information. And did you mention Oswald's description?
Oswald is a human man. He's a little bit on the shorter side, but and he walks with a limp.
And where would we find Oswald?
Oswald is usually at his house in the his house is also on the property next to the Griffin Riders compound. So I might check the Griffin Riders compound first, just because it is technically in the middle of the workday. But one of those two places is typically where he is during the day.
And excuse me, do we have any authority outside the code legal, or we might have to draw a weapon or something within the city? And Waterdeep, is having been here for a while, is very protective of those laws.
Yes, the code legal here is a bit strict. To give you an idea, the cost for attacking someone or killing someone, if caught by the guard, they have the authority to kill you on the spot. Or they can wait for a trial. It doesn't particularly matter in that sense. But you are going to be allowed to draw weapons. You will have the authority of carrying out this investigation in the ways you need to. If it's unnecessary violence or unnecessary to the investigation, then you will still be persecuted. But for the investigation purposes, you are allowed to do what you need.
And are you keeping this death quiet, or does other people know already?
There are a few people that know already, but we're hoping to keep it quiet until all of his next of kin are formed.
And sorry, Fenway, this is for me. Can you describe, or what was the victim's name again?
No one ever asked.
Okay, all right.
so-
I wasn't sure. I think Relic would say, and I apologize for not asking earlier, but what was your friend's name?
his name is Otan. Spelled Otihan.
All right, and you said, just to make sure we have all the facts here, he was found with the wound to the back of his neck, and it was 6 hours ago. When he was found.
It was found. Technically found 7 hours ago, since it's 7 a.m. now, but he was
Okay.
found at 6 a.m.
Gotcha.
And he was killed hours
And killed how far previously?
He was killed at midnight to make it.
Okay.
Throughout,
Okay, go ahead.
throughout this conversation, while some of the questions are being asked, Kari is not necessarily retaining the information, but very trusting of her party members. She wants to kind of look around and see if there's anyone who's taking like an unusual amount of interest or just their presence is odd at this hour.
You can go ahead and roll perception.
As a 19.
All right, so you notice a few people. Not really anyone out of the ordinary necessarily. There are a couple people kind of like kneeling next to gravestones or heading into the mausoleums, but it's really not populated here. And the only thing you notice is that there is a clear lack of any other type of like living thing. There's no like animals there you can see, at least in this part of the city. You've seen animals in the other parts of the city, but here in the city of the dead, there are no living beings besides.
Got it. She'll just take note of that and kind of then start listening in a bit more.
Right. While you're also one thing otherwise is one thing that you did notice, there is something sticking out of the pocket of the dead guy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. May I look at your friend? And she kind of just points at the body.
Sure. That if that's part of the investigation, absolutely.
Thank you. And she kneels down and is like crouching, trying to see what is sticking out of his pocket.
So you grab. There are two things that are currently sticking out of his pocket. One of them is a folded up piece of paper. And the other is a very large feather. This feather, the top half of it is silver, and the bottom half is bright white.
And the letter, should open it if needed, to see if she's able to read what's on it.
You are definitely able to read what's on it. I have pasted it into the chat because there are some interesting things about it. So there are quite a few words in there. Let's see. Could somebody also paste that in the Twitch chat just so they're able to read it if they would like to?
You got it.
Perfect. Thank you. It's a letter to Otand of some sorts. You're not really sure.
Um, uh, uh, Out of complete respect, I would like to ask. While I do trust the guards, I am somewhat trained in medicine myself. Would you mind if I took a look at the body just to see if there was anything else out of place?
Go right ahead. I mean, the guards are well trained, but they're not. You know,
Mhm. Of
can
course.
sometimes be.
Yeah, so I think Relic would just like to go over seeing that, waiting now that Kari has sort of crossed the threshold of like touching, we just sort of like to go over and very respectfully sort of just look at the body, inspect the wound, and see if there's anything else that might be out of place using his clerical, medical, or medicine background.
Sure, go ahead and roll me a medicine check.
Sorry, I was muted. That is a natural 20
Yay.
Fantastic.
for a total of 27.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. You notice everything.
Yeah, Relic's eyes actually they go like yellow, and he just like scans the body.
You notice that other than, the stab wound in the back of his neck, he was in perfect health. Stab wound, on the other hand, there is like a slight ring of white around it, and then outwards a dark purple and bluish color surrounding.
Huh.
With your medical expertise, you would know that this comes from some very strong poison, as well as poison was probably not injection, like wound based, infliction.
So does it appear that not that he was like stabbed with a large weapon, but just like some sort of injection of some sort then?
It looks to be like a dagger, like a small
Okay.
dagger.
Okay. Uh e- Everyone, I hope this information isn't disturbing, but it appears that Otan was the victim of some sort of powerful poison, likely delivered here at the wound. If you notice the colors, other than that, he appears to be as if he was in perfect health.
So a stab wound to the back of the neck wasn't enough. Let's add a little bit of poison.
Yeah, seems a bit overkill to me.
I would suspect this is someone who had a particular distaste for him.
And Kari's going to hand over the letter as well to the rest of the party. I think he was meeting someone.
Sure hope they have better spelling than he did.
Wait, did
I'm
he
not the
write
best
this
at
note,
spelling, but
or was the note written to him?
Note was written to him.
Okay.
Oh.
Madam, is there anyone that you know of that would have wanted to meet with Otan at night?
No. He wasn't seeing anyone, and really one of his only friends. Don't really know of anyone that he would want or need to meet with, especially here at a time when it's closed.
did he have family?
Not here.
And this feather that Kari recovered, is this a griffin feather?
Well, it seems to be, but normal griffin feathers are tanned at the top and then white, and typically are pretty a dirty white. Not so pure as this.
I hope this isn't rude of me, Pitterick, but are you familiar with any birds with feathers like this?
Am I? That'd be a I'm going.
Sure. So you would be able to tell just by looking at it that it doesn't have the same build as a typical bird feather, as well as it is much too large to come from any type of regular bird.
Okay.
Too large to have come from any Aarakocra, anything like that I have seen.
Well, that's good to know. We can rule Pitterick out.
Yeah,
Gods, I was worried.
or yellow and green. And
Well, I guess other than if anyone would like to investigate the scene itself, so as not to leave any clues behind. Besides that, we might want to head off for the guards.
one more question: if the city was City of the Dead was closed when we came in here, how would you have gotten in?
Oh, good question.
Well, don't know. He or the person he was meeting must have found some way to get in that isn't the gate. I'm not really sure.
All right, I want to do the parakeet thing of just kind of moving the head around, and I do kind of want to look for tracks. I want to go over to the wall of the City of Dead and look for any type of entrance, a tunnel, or something that might have been used, ladder, rope.
Sure. Go ahead, make me an investigation check.
All right. All right, I rolled a 1. Total of 1.
You find the wall. You are able to find the wall 100%. But other than that, you don't really find too much of anything.
What did you find, Pitterick?
A bit of seed over here. Sorry, I tried to
Kari is going to, while she's still somewhat like hunched over the body, complete disregard at this point for like the niceties and the pleasantries. Just gonna like look at the bottom of the shoes of the body, just to see if there's any indication of like different dirt, different terrain that they'd walked on, rather than the entrance that we just came in through.
Sure, go ahead, make me a perception check. Yeah, so the dirt that you walked in on was really like dry and road kind of esque, and gravel to lead the path in. The dirt that is on the bottom of Oten's shoes is much more earthy and like dark and like rich soil.
And kind of bending the leg and pointing the foot, like the bottom of the foot upwards. Just gonna kind of point at it. It's different.
Relic's gonna take just like probably like a vial or a flask out from his side, and go down and just like scrape a little bit of that darker, richer soil in to see if maybe we can compare this later.
Absolutely, you could get that, no problem. There's not a ton of it.
Yeah, I'm thinking just like a little bit.
Yeah, just you can definitely just get a little bit. Is there anything else that anyone wants to do here?
Yeah, it sounds like we checked the body, we checked the surroundings, and we've talked to the only person here, I guess.
There's clearly no ingredients, so it's a wash for me.
So where would you like to head first? You have two main suspects here. Where would you like to head first?
Well, I had a pet once, and I think if someone ever took the pet away from me, I'd get angry. Maybe the gnome that they spoke of. Maybe a good place to start.
Lily, you said she lived at the Yawning Portal, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So, it's as good a place as any to start.
Back
Fantastic.
to the pub.
So you are heading out of the the dead, and can you give me a marching order?
We want to go by like the cell phone bars and height for this.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
have some pretty tall people.
Yeah, so Relic is I think closer to 7 foot than 6.5, so he'll probably be up front with Kari's 6 foot something. You said
6.5 feet, yeah.
Gudon 6 even.
Alrighty. So,
and did
Kari,
we
you're in the
establish Pitteric's height?
5 feet. I'm a thin.
Okay, yeah.
leopard.
So Relic, Kari, Gudon, Pitteric.
fantastic. So, like in Kari, moments before you feel it hit you, you feel a hand reach out and kind of put itself on your shoulder from the bushes. Then let's make sure it hits you before I tell you that it does damage. So Relic, does a 23 hit you?
It does not.
Wow. Alrighty. Does a 19 hit you, Kari?
It does.
Okay. So Kari, you feel like your bones reverberate. As 20 thunder damage goes through you from this hand. Then out pops two creatures, one from either side of the gate, outside the city of the dead. One of them, they both kind of look the same in shape. One of them, though, is covered in all of these different types of eyes, and then also is like slimy. And then the other one is tentacles all over. It's like 30 different tentacles.
God.
Where you may expect more of like a yelling out in pain, there's just this like deep guttural groan of annoyance coming from Kari, and as she looks over to the slimy creature, she just kind of shudders. Goes, I don't like that one.
Yeah.
I think will be where we roll initiative.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you just want to let them hit you, that's fine with me too. But that
Yeah,
might just allow us to.
The one that got a 3, you said it was a 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Relic misinterpreted and thought it was someone asking for money, and so he was like, "Oh," and like going to like go for his coin purse before he heard the growl behind him.
Okay.
All right, that's 15 for Relic's initiative.
All right.
Say 13 for Kari.
Lovely. Eric.
I have a 12.
Alrighty. And Gudon.
13-2.
So that means Relic, you go first.
Okay. These creatures. So we're still in the city of the dead, right?
You are just outside the gates of the city
Okay.
of the dead.
Do they appear undead in nature?
No,
Okay.
they appear very alive.
Okay.
You just very gross.
Okay. All right. Well, I think seeing his friend Kari attacked, I will turn and say, back, foul beast. May the light of Moradin cast you to the shadows. And he takes his hammer, opens up his forge, and like just puts his mace in it and lets it like get heated up. And is going to cast as a bonus action Searing Smite on his mace. And swing for the one that hurt Kari.
Right, that is the slimy one.
So I will make a straight attack roll. Also, because I'm a forge cleric, I can bless one weapon or a piece of armor a day to have a +1, and I've blessed my mace because I'm not very strong. So we will see.
Gross.
Well, Morden was not quite looking out for me today because that's a 7.
Unfortunately, no. Their armor class is low, but not that low.
That's all right.
Anything
I
else for
believe.
anything?
So let me just double check real quick. It's been a while since I've used this spell. Okay, so technically the mace is still going to be glowing with white hot intensity because it lasts until I drop my concentration or until I hit the creature. So it is still glowing. I'd probably just grunt in frustration and just stand at the ready.
Alrighty. Sounds like a plan. Perfect. That brings us to Kari then.
Perfect. And about how far away are these two from us?
They're directly next to you. Like they had to touch you to be able to deal that damage.
Absolutely. So just like that, the trailing off of that annoyed groan as she's just reaching up onto her back and pulling off her longsword, just staring and in a very annoyed look with the slimy one in front of her, and say, "Well, at least they're near the city of the dead. Won't take us far," and just start swinging. So first one is going to be. Oof, I don't know if that's gonna hit. A 14.
10 is their AC, so yes.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. So that is going to be, and she's using 2 hands for it currently. Is going to be. Oh, of course I rolled a 1. 5 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And she, for her second attack, gonna swing once more.
Okay.
That's 11. So that's going to be 6 points of slashing damage on the second.
No worries.
And that'll be it for Kari.
Better than nothing, right?
Yeah. True.
All right, perfect. Gudon.
Yeah, so Gudon's going to look at the one that Kari just hit. Are we all attacking the same one, or have we attacked different ones?
Everyone is attacked the same.
Cool. I'm going to keep on that train then, and Gudon is just going to say, "Bloody hell," and then like whip out a wand, and then just point it at that one and cast Ray of Sickness.
Lovely. Okay.
That does a 19 hit.
Yes.
Okay. So, gonna roll 3d8 damage. That is paltry for what I was hoping. It is a total of 4.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. Not exactly ideal.
Anything else?
They need to make a Constitution saving throw, I think.
Okay.
And if they fail it, they're poisoned until the end of the next turn.
My highest health
Fair. I think the DC is 15. So
They're both poisoned until the end of your next turn, you said?
yes.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Fantastic. Well, they, interestingly enough, also got a 13. So they will go right after you. And that one is going to, the slimy one is going to reach out for Kari again, and the tentacled one is going to reach out for, let's see, Relic again. So they have disadvantage now because of the poisonedness. Oof. Relic, the lowest that I rolled was an 18 plus 5, so 23.
Yep, that'll hit.
Alrighty, let's.
So the one that's attacking Relic, if it's, I'm sorry for interrupting, DM. It's almost like this cloud starts forming above, almost a dark, annoying cloud, and Kari's gonna look at the one that's attacking Relic and be like, "Pay attention to me," and going to use her Cloud Rune for the short rest to force him to attack her instead.
Ooh.
Okay. Alrighty.
Click.
No worries. We can do that. Gotta grab my dice real quick.
You want to be in the stream too. I'm sorry they didn't tap you for this game. I knew you would have loved it.
27 damage.
I
That was 20
apologize. What was
27.
that?
27 damage.
27 damage. Okay.
All right. The second one was going after you, Kari, again, but they rolled a 7. So I don't think
That will not hit me.
Alrighty. So that is the end of their turn. Pinrick, I think that leaves you.
All right. I'm let's see here. I am not right up close, correct? Like a few feet back.
Yes, you are like 10 feet away from it.
Excellent. Okay. So Frederick is gonna rub his feathers together, blow in his hand, and cast a firebolt at the one that we've been mostly attacking.
Lovely.
And that's a 21 to hit.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. And that's 8 whole damage.
Sounds good. Maybe if I can do math, that'd be great. Perfect. That brings us back up to Relic then.
Okay, I think Relic was muttering a prayer to Moradin after that first miss, asking for some divine intervention. Then, as the attack came in and he saw Kari pull that attack away, he went, thank you, Kari? Thank you, Kari. Let's dispatch with these foes so we can solve this murder. And he is going to make sure there's nothing else I can do. Yeah, he's gonna say, what do they say? 2 weapons are better than 1. And he is going to cast as a bonus action spiritual weapon to summon his spiritual weapon. I'll do it at level 2, right behind this creature. And Relic's weapon manifests as this. You see like molten metal being poured out of like the air, filling this shape. And as it cools, it leaves there a massive anvil. And I don't know if it is appropriate or not because I just donated $20 for a wild magic surge. Not to tattle on myself, but if that would be, this would be an appropriate place to use it as he casts
Let's do
this.
it. Let's do it.
Okay. Do you have us roll it?
Go right ahead and roll that.
Right. That is 30.
30. All right. You teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see.
Okay.
Right. The twinned wild magic surge roll was at 32.
32.
Oh, so close.
You are transported to the astral plane until the end of your next turn,
Well,
after which time you return to the space you previously occupied.
Excellent.
Oh my god. Okay. Does Relic have any control over where I teleport to?
Yes, you get to choose where you teleport to.
Okay, I think he holds his mace up, and then as he feels this like strange power come over, can he blink and reappear behind the creature to like attack him from behind?
You can absolutely do that.
So the way I'm picturing this is me and my anvil are going to attack at the same time, so as not to lose the element of surprise. Okay, so I blink out of existence, I guess, at the same time as Pitterick, except Pitterick doesn't come back.
that is accurate.
Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, 18.
18 will most certainly hit.
All right, so that's gonna do 8 bludgeoning damage, and let me check my Searing Smite. An additional 1d6 fire damage, or another 6. So 6 fire damage on top of 8 bludgeoning. And the creature needs to make a Constitution saving throw, or else he is going to be on fire.
Poisoned,
Yeah.
on fire, not having a great day.
How about an 8?
That won't do. Needed a 15. So at the start of their next turn, they are going to take an additional 1d6 fire damage.
Lovely.
Sorry, they get to it's we can do it they actually make the Constitution save at the beginning of each turn. So
Okay. Well,
We'll-
that'll
we'll-
still be
yeah. Yep.
still be a save.
Yeah. And then the spiritual weapon will attack as part of the bonus action to cast it. Sorry, I'm trying to remember how to play as a cleric. Okay, so that's a 7. 26 to hit.
Yes, that will
And
most certainly hit.
That
Almost
will
triple the AC.
and then that will do 6 damage.
All right. Not looking very happy with you at all.
Well, the power of Moradin compels me, and you see the white hot mace now cools. And that is the end of Relic's turn.
Alrighty. Fantastic. That brings us to Kari then.
Okay. Kari is transfixed on this gross, slimy one. So would like to try to take another swing at it.
But
Ooh. Okay, that is a 16. And
certainly.
I'll be, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get rid of this particular die. That's was a 1, but what's the bonus again? Okay, so it's gonna be 5 points slashing damage.
Okay.
And then second attack going back at this one, completely annoyed by it. Ooh, oh, it's a 12?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And oh, that's much better. It's gonna be an 11 points of slashing damage on that second hit.
Fantastic. How would you like to do this?
Oh, if she, with the first slice through, noticed that it was starting to buckle in and seem like, oh, I could definitely do this. a bit of flair to it, just taking in her whole body, pressing down into the ground, and just like using the momentum to just slice it midsection.
But yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Lovely. So now you have two halves of a slimy, sliced thing on the ground. Alrighty. Oh, that brings us to Gudon.
Just going to look at the two halves on the ground, look at Kari. Do you need any healing by chance?
Yes, please.
All right. And then just walks, completely like ignoring the other creature, walks very casually over and going to cure wounds on that, if that's okay with you.
That's fun.
Please. Thank you.
So then, God, my rolls are terrible. So you get 7 back. That is mostly because of my bonus.
Thank you. There's like complete sincerity in her voice, though. Thank you.
Of course.
Anything else that you'd like to do, Gudon?
Just look around and just say, where'd Pitterick go?
Maybe he teleported like I did. He just looks around.
Party looks around like the anime style, like
They're doing a Pitterick with Parrot.
Cut to Pitterick in the astral plane.
Which is hilarious because Pitterick can leave in the astral plane. You can see, to the ethereal plane. Never mind. You don't know where you are either, Pitterick. You're just very confused at the moment. However, it's this creature's turn, so let's see who it attacks. Now that you all are within range of it, hold on, you are getting attacked.
Perfect.
However, it does have a disadvantage since it's still poisoned.
Gave it a nauseous belly.
Although it rolled the same number, does a 15 hit you?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Gee, if I may, one more time, interrupt when it comes to a strike. I would like to use my runic shield to force a reroll to use a new roll.
This is the third roll that's now been made. Amazing.
Does a 9 hit you?
No.
Gudon. Okay. All right. So you do not get hit. The creature looks very confused as to why it can't hit anything, because usually it can. By that I mean usually I can. But yeah, no, it's very confused. So that brings us to Pitterick's turn. And so Pitterick, you're just kind of looking around, really sure where you went. Although you might be familiar with where you are because it might have happened on the Wild Magic Surge previously. After a few seconds, you pop back into existence right next to Gudon, who is standing right next
bloody hell.
So
to
it's
where
the end
before.
of my turn, and there's just a puff of feathers, and I just have wide eyes, like I saw things, and it's at the end of my turn, so I can't do anything. So.
Yep. Unfortunately, so that does bring us back. That does bring us back to Brelic.
All right. So there is just one of the creatures still standing, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I will direct my anvil over in their direction. Are they within 20 feet, would you say?
They're directly next to you.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and make an attack with the spiritual weapon, which is a total of 15.
Yes.
Okay. So that'll do 7 damage, 7 force damage, and then Relic will use his remaining action to go over and just take a whack with the mace.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. That's a 7. Second 2 I've rolled, but that's okay. It happens.
Unfortunate. If for those of you watching, if hearing this, you might want to give them some rerolls.
Yeah,
As a DM, I
I need
do allow them to reroll damage with a reroll.
Ooh.
So if you want to see them maybe hit a little bit better, you might think about doing that.
Yeah, Relic's doing that thing you do with the remote when the batteries aren't working. He's like tapping the mace. Come on.
Yes.
I just remembered an ability. I have Flash of Genius. I can add 4 to your roll if you'd like, if that would help hit.
I mean, yeah, that would I would not shirk that. How does that work? Is that just like, I don't know if you want to flavor that, or I don't know.
Yeah, let's bring it to Flavor Town, so to speak. So Gudon just yells over, "No, left more," and just
right.
No, not right, left.
Oh, okay. And then he goes and takes a swing, and so that would bring it up to an 11, Fenway.
Which does hit.
Okay, cool. So I realized, and it's fine because the character's already dead. I forgot as a cleric, I have Divine Strike, which means once on each of my turns when I hit a creature, I can, with a weapon, I can do an extra 1d8 fire damage. So this will do first the bludgeoning damage, which is 6, and the additional d8 of fire damage, which is a 1. It's just a little bit.
Lovely.
He just like turns and you see, yells some appreciation to Gudon.
Great job, you're doing well, mate. This bitch shit.
As always, words of affirmation are my love language, so thank you, Gudon.
Of course.
Alrighty. Then that brings us to Kari.
This one's still here. I'm gonna hit this one too. And just walk over, annoyed with the longsword once more. Stepping over this gross slimy one that she's just repulsed by. That is going to be a 14.
Yippers.
And different die this time. But oh man, another one. That's very nice. 5 points of slashing damage. And
sounds good.
then one more attack with the sword. Oh, that is a natural 1, so not going to work.
So, I kind of imagine you just like swing around and end up like slicing the air behind you instead of the air in front of you.
Definitely stepped in some of the slime and am like just teetering, trying to stay upright.
It's very slippery. It's very slippery. Alrighty. Good on.
All right. I forgot I had weapons because I didn't set my D&D Dion thing up. Gudon is going to pull out a meat tenderizer and a long cleaver and just go right and attack with both of them, if that's okay.
That's perfect.
Okay. Those are, let's see, 13 and 14 plus actions. Hold on, please. Okay. So that's a 15 and a 16.
Both of those hit.
Nice. Cool. And then for the damage, 1d8, 1d6. Okay. For a combined total of both of them attacking. So that's going to be 15 damage as Gudon just like tenderizes the heck out of them.
You certainly do tenderize the heck out of it. How would you like to do this?
Yeah, meat tenderizer to the head, cleaver to the gut.
Oh, yeah, that most certainly. I think that would take down anybody. This creature falls to the ground, and take a moment to catch your breath, and just kind of lying on the ground now.
Well,
That was good work, Gudon.
Thank
Impressive.
you. And then just gently licks the end of the meat tenderizer. No good. No good.
I guess you could say, Gudon, that they got their just desserts. Because you cook, and okay, I'll keep working on them.
No. That was brilliant.
Oh, whew. Thanks. I've been thinking of that one for weeks. And you see, he takes out a little notepad.
It's stunning, mate. It's simply stunning. Incredible.
Does anyone want to talk about why Pitterick disappeared for approximately 6 seconds?
Well,
you look like
Pitterick-
you.
I would rather not, if that's okay with you.
Right. He'll probably talk about it in therapy.
Mhm.
So, my question, why would we be attacked by such horrific looking things?
I may have some outstanding gambling debts. No clue if that's related or not, but
Fenway, do they have? Are there any? Because you described them as having like tentacles and things like that. Is there any weapon or device on them that looks like it was similar to the weapon used against Otan?
No, the only weapons, they look like they're spellcasters. They have a component pouch at their hip, as well as they're wearing robes. The only other thing, they actually are wearing robes very similar to what a lot of clerics know. Relic.
Could I do a religious check to see if I can tell like what gods they might worship?
Certainly, you can.
Okay, let's see.
And to answer your question, John, they do not look like debt collectors.
Okay. 22. Religion.
Based off of their looks, and the only other thing that you find on them is a small pendant around their neck that looks like a kraken. You are pretty certain that they worship the kraken.
Well, everyone, I'm not sure what a elder sea god would have, what business they would have in the graveyard, but they appear to be worshippers of the Kraken. And hold it up. So I guess we should keep that in mind as we go and question the others.
right, then maybe we should get Kraken.
He takes out his notebook and writes that down.
Kari would like to try to take the bodies, although very annoyed by the grimy, slimy one, and just walk over to the entrance of the City of the Dead and just plop.
You only have to walk about like 15 feet.
Every foot is too far with this slimy creature.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
Every foot a mile.
We should do all of our combat this close to a graveyard. It's very convenient.
Sure makes disposal easy.
Yeah. So they had. So all right. So I assume we found the pendants. There was nothing else like noticeable of interest to us on their bodies.
The only other thing I would say is that they do have spell components for spells: command, create or destroy water, control water, darkness, water breathing, water walk, call lightning, and Evard's black tentacles. in each of their spell pouches.
Okay. I'll pass that on to the others that they just sort of generally speaking, they seem to be quite capable spellcasters. Should we tell a guard on the way there that there were some bodies that we were attacked just so they can deal with them properly?
That's probably a good idea. I
Yeah.
also
Okay.
appreciate the thematic nature of their spells you detailed.
Very, very
Yes.
dramatic.
So we don't have to RP it out, Fenway, but if you Relic would probably just be like, oh hey, by the way, there's some sea creature monsters over there.
Perfect. They appreciate you letting them know, and will rush off to go take care of it. You are headed to the yawning portal then. Takes, again, same distance it took first time to get here, to get back. And it's pretty easy. You walk in, you're able to ask the bartender which room is Lily's. And you walk up, it's on the second floor. Door is just kind of not even fully closed. It's slightly open, about that much. You can hear coming inside.
I'm not exactly the stealthiest of the group if someone else would like to take a peek.
If I had to assign a numeric value for Kari's level of stealthiness, it would not be my ideal numeric value.
And
Gudon's
Gudon's just gonna be like, mate, I'm a performer looking to break into the world. I'm not exactly subtle. And then all eyes turn to Pitterick.
No, sorry.
Okay, clomp, 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 clomp. Relic will just, in his massive Warforged body, go and he'll knock on the door.
The door swings open as you knock on it. And this small gnome, she looks to be about 1.5 feet tall, is like climbing all over the furniture and just like shoving things in doors. And she looks at you, looks at the thing in her hand, quickly shoves it in the drawer, closes it, and then just like, what are you doing here?
Admission. We are here to investigate a murder.
And she looks at you, Relic, and she like clambers down off of the dresser, walks up to you, climbs up, and sits on your shoulders. And then
Mind the
Talk about
forge.
a
Mind the forge.
who's murder?
O10?
He's dead?
Yes, I apologize for you finding out in such an informal manner.
I mean, I get Moo back?
I'm not sure whom. Oh, you're Griffin.
Yes.
What was your
That's why you're
griffin's
coming
name?
to tell me. Moo.
Moo?
Well, his name is his full name is Moo the Great Dragon Killer. Yeah. Moo.
I had a little cat named Moo. This is a very big coincidence.
Do you think
I'm sorry, this is not relevant to our discussion.
It's totally relevant.
Well, perhaps we can sit down and chat, and you might be able to help us answer a few questions.
Sure, I'm sitting.
That's true, you are. Does anyone have any questions for my friend Lily here?
Yes, one. What were you shoving in that drawer?
Well, no. Items.
Yes, it would appear that. Any more specifics you can give us about that?
mean, I could. I don't really want to.
And then, is the gnome still on Relic?
Huh?
Okay. And then, I guess Gudon is just going to be like, walks over. He's just going to walk over to the drawer and like put a hand on it. He's like, I don't know if you heard my friend here, but we are investigating a rather serious affair to which you may have some nefarious intent. Not claiming anything, not saying anything, and he just like surreptitiously puts his hand on the drawer's opening. It's like, but, it'd be better to get anything off your chest that might be unsavory, not flavorful, so to speak.
Or off your shoulders.
Well put.
I don't have anything on my shoulders. It's not really unsavory. It's just, not really anybody else's business.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Privacy is everything in this age. And then Gudon just throws the drawer open.
Lovely. So there are only a couple of things in this specific drawer that she seemed to be looking through. When you walked in. So there is a jar in it, and a scale, and a rolled up scroll. In the jar, there is a feather that matches the feather that you have, that you found on Otent. The scale looks to be if you could describe it, an ancient green dragon scale. And the scroll, are you going to read the scroll?
Actually, I'm going to turn to my dear friend Kari and just be like, oh, look, Kari, this drawer appears to have popped open seemingly randomly next to me. It would be a shame if someone looked in it, such as yourself. That provides culpability to the law for proper discovery and would not leave any individual who did open said drawer in a compromised position in regards to evidence.
Oh. My eyes are on this drawer now. She's saying that out loud. And looking at what is in it. If she's able to like kind of duck through the open doorway.
Sure,
and
yeah.
Look.
The scroll is a letter from a city. It doesn't really name the city, but it basically states that Moo Lily got Moo, there we go, from a place called Hawk's Nest a while back, and that she originally had the correct licensing for Moo, but it's been like 10 years since she's been back, and so she just hasn't had the ability to get Moo.
Her griffin got repoed.
Lily, if what my two friends over there observed is correct, why do you have the scale of an ancient green dragon? That's quite a powerful foe.
Well, my party and I, from my adventuring days, were fighting a ancient green dragon, and I had just recently gotten Moo, and Moo was the one that dealt the killing. And that's why his name is Moo the Great Dragon.
Yeah, Relic is definitely internally in his head doing some CR calculations of an ancient green dragon and realizing that the gnome sitting on his shoulder is likely much more dangerous than he originally thought.
Yes.
The feather looks the same, though, as the one that we had found.
Correct.
Lily, I'm sure that Moo is a very, very beautiful griffin. This feather is gorgeous. Is it unique? I haven't seen griffins of that shade.
Yes, he has a magic item that caused him to turn silver when I put it.
That was all. I was just curious.
Okay. If I can get Moo back now that Otan's gone, that would be great. You could check in with Oswald was much nicer to me about it. Otan was not nice to me at all. But Oswald was much nicer to me about it. If you could check in with him and see if that he's in charge, since the head of the Griffin Riders has died, the second in command now becomes of the Griffin Riders. Maybe knows what to do.
Excellent suggestion.
And we can't make any decisions about the custodial rights of Moo, but we'll let you know as soon as we receive an update.
That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Would you like us to leave your room now and your belongings?
Yes, please.
Very delicately puts the feather back when she just taken from the drawer.
Udon, who has pointedly been not looking at the drawer at all, just like closes it.
Lovely. Is there anything else that you would like to do before you head out?
Can I do an insight check to just see if Lily seems to be like she didn't seem to react to us going through and finding these things. So I don't know. I'm just trying to get a feel for like if she's sweating or not from us asking these questions.
Okay, go ahead and roll an insight check.
Okay, that is a 23.
She's obviously like not happy with you going through her belongings, as is normal. But she's not. Doesn't seem like suspiciously upset or like she's trying to hide something.
Okay. All right. Well, just careful getting down now. Lily, it was a pleasure to meet you. We will resume our investigations now. And in the future, you might want to actually close your door so strangers can't just barge in. Just a recommendation. Did we lose Fenway?
Oh no.
We may have.
Oh no.
That sounds like a good time for a break.
I
Sounds
think
like
so.
an excellent time for a break in the call. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so if
And we're back. Fantastic. Good to be back. Sorry about that, y'all. You have just left Lily's room, where we left off, correct? Fantastic. So, you are headed to what's called the North Ward now. The North Ward is the upper part of Waterdeep, where a lot of the upper echelon people live. The people who can who live in the fancy houses, and due to your ability that are like you're an honorary part of the guard for this specific investigation, you are able to get in there no problem. They do have a gate that typically doesn't allow a lot of people in, but they're allowing you in for the specific purpose. Now, you walk for a few minutes, and then you get to where the headquarters of the Griffin Riders is supposed to be. And you see this tiny shack. It's probably like the size of one room, made out of kind of rotting wood, and is one color. Nothing like the houses on either side of it that are like multiple stories, very large, colorful, painted, made out of different materials, those sorts of things. There are two things of note specifically for this shack. One, on the front door, there is not a door handle. And two, there is a black box of sorts sitting on the front of the door. What would you like to do?
Do we just knock?
I was going to say, Relic is probably looking around like, are we sure this is the home of the famed Griffin Riders of Waterdeep? Guess we'll find out.
Knocking worked before, and we already established we're no good at sneaking up on anybody, so.
It's true.
It's very true.
All right. Clomp, 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 clomp. I'll head over, knock on the door.
So you knock on the door, and you hear, "What can I do you for?"
Introduction. My name is Relic. These are my companions, and we are here to inquire about a recent crime that took place affecting one Otan, previous leader of the Griffin Riders.
You hear the voice seems pretty automated. And you hear, "You must answer a challenge to be able to get inside."
Oh, God's alive, home security has really gone strange these days.
Yeah, back in my day. Oh, go ahead, Bree.
Oh, a challenge like a game, and Kari seems to get a little bit like interested, like her eyes are kind of like shimmering a little bit. Oh, a game, is it?
There are two challenges. The first is here at the door. If you pass the first challenge, you must need only answer one correctly to get through the first door. If you answer all three correctly, you get a hint for the next challenge.
Do we actually have time for this, or do we just need to move on and investigate other things?
Could Gudon look at the box?
Sure, yeah, go right ahead.
Okay.
That doesn't really even require an investigation check. The box is just, it seems very simple, except for it has like slats in the front of it, which almost seem speaker-esque.
Well, it seems like this is one of our main sources of information, so I guess we should entertain it.
What? Oh, yes, of course. Can I open the box or like does it make any noise when I shake it? Like
It's on. So it's on the door.
it's on the door. Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
So I mean, you could try and shake it. It doesn't really do much, except for repeat the message that it just gave you.
Right.
Would you like to hear the first question?
Affirmation, yes.
It's
Oh,
red.
sorry. Yes.
It's red, blue, purple, and green. No one can reach it, not even the queen.
Oh, I've got this. It's probably something that's painted red, blue, purple, and green that's way up high.
Ooh, like a rainbow.
Oh, yes, I was thinking literally, but a rainbow might work.
Are they not literally up high?
No, they are. I was thinking like a box that someone painted and put up high on top of a building.
Oh, that might be a better answer, actually.
No, I think that I'm not the right one to do this.
What
are you
is
saying,
your
Fedor?
final answer?
Well, wait a second. They only mentioned 4 colors. And rainbows, I believe, are 7?
Roy G. Yes.
Could it be the... What time of day is it?
It is like mid-afternoon.
Well, if it's not the rainbow, perhaps it could be a sunset? I'm thinking of Relic watching the beautiful sunset over Waterdeep Harbor the night before, recalling that.
Ari is
do you
very
want-
visibly trying to count how many colors she sees in rainbows. A little preoccupied with that.
What is your answer, or would you like to move on to the second one?
Should we give rainbow? Rainbow.
Ding! It literally says the word ding.
Relic appreciates that.
They're sophisticated.
The second question. The one who makes it always sells it. The one who buys it never uses it. And the one who uses it never knows they're using it.
I think I recall this one. The old dwarves at the monastery used to tell a similar joke. I think it's a coffin?
I'd agree.
What is your answer?
I lean very close, so my mouth is basically on the box. Coffin.
Ding! And last one. What is as light as a feather, but even the strongest man cannot hold it for long?
No, nobody can throw me in the air to try it out.
Oh,
Pound of steel.
we were thinking that.
Light as a feather, but no man can hold me. Was it for long?
Long. No man can hold it for long.
Hmm.
Could it be?
Holy breath.
Oh, that is not what. And Relic doesn't breathe, so Relic would never have thought of that.
Oh, like holding your breath. That would be the sort of verbal wordplay that things like this would use.
What
Is
is
there?
your final answer?
You've got this, Petrick.
Breath.
Ding! And on that last ding, the door swings open.
That's good. I was going to cleave it up if that weren't the case.
You walk in the door.
Yep.
Would like to.
Oh, perfect. Fantastic. So you walk in the door and you see a stairwell that leads downwards. Stone stairwell that leads down. That is the only thing in the room.
I feel like I heard a word for this at one point. It was ominous.
Can
Is it-
I? Oh, go ahead, DC.
Is it single file down the steps? Just
It can be double.
I say onward.
Alrighty. You get down the stairs, and down the stairs, it actually smells quite good. Quite fresh, clean.
It's like something's cooking.
And it does smell like there is food. It does smell like food.
What kind of food is it?
There's a lot of fruit.
Oh,
A lot of fruit. And like fresh. However, slightly disappointing when you get down to the bottom of the stairs. The bottom of the stairs, there is a large room that has a bunch of dais surrounding it. There's 16 dais surrounding the room, each of which has 2 bottles on top of it. Each set of bottles is a different color. And in the center of the room, there is a very large dais with a very large bowl.
Observation. For a law enforcement headquarters, this place is quite a strange way to enter it. Are we somewhere we're not supposed to be?
feels a bit like a hazing ritual, don't it?
There's no writing or anything. So there's a dais with a large bowl, and there are how many bottles?
There's 16 dais with 2 bottles on each of them. So a total of 32 bottles, but only 16 colors.
Okay.
Is the smell coming from the bottles?
It is.
Trash.
Can we see in the large bowl? Or is it
You can see in the large bowl. It's only about 4 feet off the ground, so it's not like too tall. The bowl also smells of a lot of different smells, but there's nothing currently in it. The only other thing in the room is another black box in the high up corner.
I think Gudon's probably going to go over to the black box and like try to tippy toes, like tap it. Boy, what's with all this then?
Would you
What's
like
all
your
this,
hint?
Looks at the group.
I think a hint would be much appreciated.
Hint would be lovely, mate.
You only use half of the colors.
Use half the colors. Is that the whole hint?
Yes.
At least they're responsive.
Okay. So logically then, that could mean one of 2 things. Either we use half of we only use 8 colors, or we use all 16 colors, but we only use 1 bottle of each.
I
Around
didn't
the
think
room,
about that.
colors are as follows. The first dais is red and teal, chartreuse, maroon, black, brown, clear, green, orange, pink, blue, white, apricot, yellow, indigo, and violet.
Could Gudon go up? Let go. You're good. You're good to go.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Bree?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw in the chat that you put the list of the colors. I was about to say, my writing is not fast enough to have recorded all of those. So thank you.
Yes, I did put the list of the colors in our Discord chat for the players, so you could reference that.
And there's nothing else in the room that would be. I guess, are there any symbols on the where the actual colors are?
No, there are not. But as you get closer to the bottles, you can tell that the smell is most certainly coming from the bottles.
I think Gudon is going to try and go to the red bottles and sniff out the difference between the two of them. Like they're identical bottles, yes?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Could I roll a perception to try and see if there's a different smell coming from each of them?
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay. That's good. Oh, 21.
Lovely. So they both smell exactly the same as of strawberries.
It's quite lovely. Fragrant.
You
Into
get
fields.
almost the sense that you have 2 shots. 2 chances.
2 chances. Oh, I see. Oh. Huh. I think they want us to make a rainbow out of this. Hear me out. So we have 16 colors. We're only to use half of them. So there should be a correlation between which colors we pick and use. A color spectrum, if that makes sense. Not a single thought otherwise.
I like that. It's thematic to the first hint or the first challenge too.
Right. See, we've got, and Gudon's just going to begin like getting an armful of the bottles at this point. I think. I'm going to pick up red. What do you think? Orange, yellow. Go for the green. What else is in the rainbow? Blue? Blue's in the rainbow. That brings us to 5.
Indigo.
Indigo, violet.
Indigo and violet. Yes, quite
Which
right.
brings us to 7.
Oh.
Oh, what about this one? And he point over at the clear. There's a clear bottle.
Smart.
Yes.
Clever. We do also have black and white and brown. Are these opposites? What do you say? We use the rainbow colors and toss in a clear for good measure?
I think that's a sound theory.
Yeah.
All right then. And then Gudon just gonna begin pouring those colors into it.
Which color do you go with first?
I go with red first, starting at the beginning of the rainbow.
Okay, so you pour the red in, and a little poof of red glitteriness and strawberry smell poofs out of the bowl, and the red color starts spitting on the bowl.
Huh. Oh, wasn't expecting that. Gonna smell the orange. Does it smell like oranges?
It does smell like orange.
Okay. Gonna pour the orange in then.
Pour the orange, and the same thing happens, except for this time it's oranges, and then instead of mixing together, the red and the orange sit side by side.
Interesting. I have Arcana as a skill. Could I roll that to sort of like figure out what's going on here?
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay. Cool. I'm getting high rolls on that. That is a 25.
Well, first of all, it's most certainly magical. Second of all, it's probably a magical trap. If you were to pour the wrong color in, or pour the right color in at the wrong time, then it probably would explode somehow.
Yeah, right.
You also get the feeling that each vial, each color, is correlated to a specific kind of damage.
Specific kind of damage. Oh. And then, like, Udon sort of, like, looks at his little collection. What are the types of damages that you can do magically? There's acid, lightning, fire,
Cold, thunder.
thunder.
I believe there's only 6 that are most commonly known.
There's psychic, radiant, cold, force.
I was forgetting of the non-elementals.
Acid, necrotic, poison.
Quite a lot.
Mm.
Well, so far the rainbow approach appears to be working.
Do we want to put it in yellow then? Yes? Should I proceed with the rainbow theory?
Yeah. Working so far. That we have. Till it blows up.
Right, let's hope that's not the case. And just
What was
cautiously
that blows up? And Kari's like immediately next to this item, just looking at it intently.
Yeah, Relic is the opposite. Relic takes a step back.
You might not want to stand.
Put yellow in. It smells immediately of lemons. You, Gudon, are starting to smell a fruit salad.
Yummy.
Delicious. Yellow in, and it starts swirling next to the orange.
All right. What does the green smell like?
Green smells like limes.
That would go well. Pours green in.
You pour green in, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you pour green in, the same thing happens. Add lime to it. And it starts swirling right next to the yellow.
All right. Roy G. Blue, and then pours the blue in.
Pour the blue in. It smells like blueberries.
Delicious.
And it starts swirling directly next to the green.
If indigo. Pours indigo.
Indigo, slightly different type of smell this time. It smells like lilacs. It's got a little bit more of a flowery smell than it does of fruit, but it still smells pretty. And it flows right next to the blue.
Okay. All right. Violet pours in.
Fantastic. Violet, It's blackberries, and it smells amazing still, and flows right next to the indigo.
And he's going to stop and sort of like look at the group at large. He's going to take a smell of the clear one.
Clear one does not smell like anything.
Right. Well, would you all mind taking a whiff of the white, black, or brown bottles?
Sure, I'll run over to the white one.
The white
you have-
ones-
Olfactory senses, Relic?
So I can speak from we actually had the question of whether Warforged have tongues come up on Know Your Role, and Keith, who the creator of Eberron and Warforged, confirmed they do not have tongues, but they have magical senses that allow them to taste and smell. So we can smell.
Neat.
I don't know if we have glands, but we confirmed with the creator.
Yeah, from the word of God.
So yeah, I'll go take a whiff of the white one.
White one smells like clean laundry.
I'm glad this is not glue. Yeah, this
go for
smells
the-
like just fresh laundry.
No, that's not quite right.
What did you say, DC? Which one did you go to?
Go for the brown.
Brown smells like coffee.
Mm. This won't work.
We're looking for fruity, right?
Fruity, yes.
See, the black one smells exactly like the city of the dead, graves,
Oh,
a tinge of death.
Oh.
Yep, clear. Just use the clear.
Are we sure we don't want to check out the apricot, maybe? Or, I mean...
yeah. We've got apricot, pink, teal, chartreuse, and maroon. I think are all still unaccounted for.
Would you like me to describe the flavor
Yeah,
smells?
Relic is just going around and is just like starting to.
Lovely. Like I said, red is strawberries. The teal smells like the ocean.
Okay.
Chartreuse smells like pomelo, which is a citrus fruit. Maroon smells like rich, irony blood. Black is the grave. Brown is coffee. Clear doesn't have a smell. Green, lime, oranges. The pink smells like a sugary, like a creme brulee type dessert, like a burnt dessert. Those blueberries, white's clean laundry. Apricot smells, I know, surprise, apricots. And you know the rest of them.
Right. So, we might have messed up with indigo, but... do we feel good about clear?
Well, everything else was food based, except for indigo. So it may be too late for now. I mean, we could try clear just to see, but I know we get a second chance. I'm worried that we might have meant to use the chartreuse, which smelled like a citrus fruit of some kind, and apricot. Those are both. It feels like lime and lemon were both involved.
Yes, I quite agree with you. Well,
But-
bottoms up and just pours the clear.
Pour the clear in, and it starts swirling, and it fills in the space, like in the middle of the circle between all of the colors, and then all of a sudden they poof a little bit, and you all get covered in like rainbow glitter, and then you hear a loud rumbling, and all of the liquid empties out through a small hole in the bottom of the bowl, and then all of a sudden the dais and the bowl split in half. There's a staircase.
Yes, we did
Oh,
it.
my God, I thought I was going to explode again.
Praise Oradin.
Hail Timora.
So you all actually were on the verge of figuring out both solutions. There are two solutions to that Well, you can either do all of the fruit. There are 8 fruit-based ones, or you can do the rainbow with the so I created it with 2 solutions.
Nice.
So you figured out both of them.
Whew.
You were heading down the stairs, and on the stairs, and there's a change of smell. You are now in an area that smells a little bit like a stable, some fresh hay, and you are walking down this long hallway that has a bunch of stables on either side. And these stables are much bigger than that of a horse or a big, large farm animal. You can tell that they are specifically for griffins. There's a large, ornate door at the end of the hallway. As you are nearing this door, you start to hear noises from the very last stall on the left. You look in, there is a large griffin. This griffin looks to be a little bit malnourished and chained to the stall. It looks up at you just kind of pathetically and like the drooping eyes as you pass by.
Gudon, you don't happen to have a little snack on you that we might be able to share with
Yes.
this fellow?
Of course. And he's going to whip up just like a meat treat, so to speak. And I actually have this as an ability because of my chef's background from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. I would have prepared this previously. I can cook 3 treats and they last 8 hours. And anybody who eats one of those treats gains 3 temporary hit points. So this would sort of restore some of the hit points to this griffin as well, in addition to being a tasty little meat treat.
Fantastic. So it's going to kind of look at you a little bit hesitantly.
Come on, love.
Will kind of trot up to you and will eat the treat. And then it's going to look up at you again and just say, "Good kitty."
Who says that?
Griffin.
Good. You speak common? And then just like sidles over to Cart, just leans over to Cart. Do you recall griffins being able to speak common?
No, I don't remember that.
Right.
Maybe this one's special.
Does this one have feathers that look like the ones we've found?
That's correct. It is silver and white.
I presume you are Mu, the exalted slayer of dragons?
Moo!
Oh, okay. That's a good start. Friends, should we unchain this creature? I don't feel great having it chained up like this, clearly not being taken care of.
We should.
Gudon. Yeah. Do we have to roll anything to do that?
Not really. It's not.
I was
It's not an intricate lock. It really it's like a two pin lock you can pick easily. It just is designed to keep the griffin.
Yeah, Relic has a set of either Smith's. I have jeweler's tools, Smith's tools, or tinker's tools that are all integrated with my his arm can open up, and so he'll just go over not while they're kind of talking, while Gudon is feeding them treats, and I'll just kind of quietly undo the lock.
Lovely.
This is typical human craftsmanship. A dwarf would never allow this to. Ugh.
Good kitty.
Gudon has kind of a weird feeling. Could I look at the griffin's talons and claws?
Sure. They look the same. Nothing's been altered
Okay.
about them.
They're not, say, poisonous looking and roughly the size of something that would have slipped into the back of somebody's neck, perchance?
No.
Okay. All right.
The wound that you saw was distinctly like a
Okay.
dagger shape. So it's very much blade. He does not have blades for talons. He has very sharp talons, but not bladed talons.
Okay. Just wanted to clear that suspect off the list.
No worries. Yeah, he just kind of looks at you. Kitty?
What was that? Sorry?
Kitty?
They just keep calling us Kitty.
Hmm.
Do you know who Lily is?
Kitty!
Okay. I think perhaps Lily is Kitty.
I think you've established that, yes.
Can I lean up towards? I want to sidle up to the griffin and put my shoulder where Lily had been sitting, up towards their beak. Be like, Kitty. See if they can
Kitty.
smell her.
He's gonna poke you with his beak. Kitty. Then poke your shoulder. Kitty.
Okay. There's no sign of anyone else here in the building.
You have not gone through the last door.
Okay.
So you don't know for sure, but there hasn't been yet.
Well, should one of us stay here with Moo while the rest check out this next room?
I can stay, yes.
Dragon.
Dragon?
Dragon.
There's a dragon in that room?
Dragon?
Okay. Well, I hope that's just because that's one of the few words they know and there's not a dragon waiting for us on the other side. But is everyone else in the party okay with us checking out this next room?
I like this plan.
Right. Relic will... Can I go up and see if I hear anything on the other side of the door?
Sure. Go ahead and make your perception check.
Switched up and did a little physical dice. That is 25 total.
You hear some footsteps and some shuffling of papers.
Okay. There's definitely someone on the other side there, but they sound as if they may be doing some sort of paperwork. So,
Can dragons do paperwork?
I'm not quite sure. I guess let's find out. Should we knock or should I just open the door?
I mean, knocking's working for us.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding.
You hear more shuffling of papers and more footsteps. And then the door opens. And someone comes to the door. There we go. And there is a tall human male standing in front of you. And he looks at you and says, "Can I help you?"
Oswald, I presume?
Who's asking?
My name is Relic, and my companions and I have been imbued with the authority of the City Watch to investigate the recent murder of your former superior, Otan.
Otan's dead. And then from the back you hear, "Bad dragon!" from Moo. As soon as you say his name.
Yes, I really have got to get better about not telling people this way. Yes, unfortunately, Otan was found sometime this morning. No longer in the realm of the living.
Oh. Just kind of sits there, kind of in shock for a moment. Why don't you come in and we can discuss.
I'll walk in and sort of defer to the rest of the party to carry the conversation forward. I think Relic feels he keeps just letting people know very abruptly that a person they know has died. So
Kari will follow, although not being the best with words. Kind of look at the man, nod. I'm sorry for his passing.
Thank you. Well, yes, we were friends, I guess. And yeah, I don't know what we'll do with him not being here, but I guess no, figure.
Am I able to see what the paperwork was he was doing on his desk?
Sure, you walk over to his desk, and there's a lot of different papers on his desk. It looks like mostly paperwork for the Griffin Riders. But there is one piece of paper that looks to be written on much nicer, much nicer paper, and it looks to be a letter of some sorts.
It looks to be a letter. Sorry, you cut out.
It looks to be a letter of some sorts. Yes.
Okay. Can I read this?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me just one moment. I'm gonna message it to you so that either decide to keep it to yourself or whatnot. Great. No worries. So you read that letter while the rest of you are talking to. With anything else?
All right.
Anyone wants to ask him?
May I insight check him just to make sure that his apparent grief at this news is genuine?
Sure. Go right ahead.
Right. Oops. That's a natural 20 for a 25.
This grief is probably about as natural as you could get.
Awesome. All right.
Hey,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, sorry. Go ahead, DC. I've got a follow up question, but finish your thought.
Okay. Would you happen to know who would want to do this? I carefully say the word friend.
Well, no, I don't really know who would want to do this. He's been hanging around with someone recently. Goes by the name Kriska. She's a daughter of a nobleman who lives in the Sea Ward. And they've been hanging out recently. And I don't know if she knows anything, but we haven't talked a lot.
Oswald, does this symbol mean anything to you? And can I take out one of the amulets that I had taken off of the creatures that had attacked us?
Well, I mean, it's a symbol of the Kraken and the followers of the Kraken.
This is probably a strange question. Is there anything that you can think of that Otan would have done to draw on the attention or the ire of the Kraken?
Well, yes, actually. Not that much of a strange question. One of the reasons that he was he won the the Griffin Rider, the head of the Griffin Rider election, is because a few years past, he was one of the people that helped run a group of Kraken priests out of Waterdeep.
Well, that seems like quite an important piece of information that wasn't shared with us prior. This cult that he was in, were these nefarious cultists, or were these like, oh, we love the Kraken, we love to go to the beach and dance on the shore, or were they up to more ill-gotten
Nothing
practices?
was ever proven. However, it was certainly thought that the priests that he ran out of Waterdeep were much more nefarious than they were, displaying themselves.
Okay. So you said he ran them out of the city.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a reason this griffin is so malnourished? Calls from the other room.
Well, Moo has refused to eat a lot of the meals because usually it was Otend feeding her, and as you can tell, don't really like that.
Oh, bad dragon. Right.
Yes. Moo can only speak 6 words. Moo, which is their name, Kitty, which is in regards to a person, good kitty, someone that they like, great kitty, they only use that for Lily, dragon, person, a bad person, and bad dragon, which is a terrible person. So they can speak dragon, bad, good, great, and they can put any of those words together in any manner. However, great kitty, good kitty, kitty, dragon, and bad dragon are typically the ways that they put them together.
So by your explanation, your now your now deceased acquaintance was a terrible person.
According to Moo, yes.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. That may have come across as insensitive. I apologize.
It's understandable. He was not exactly Moo's favorite person because he took Moo away from Lee. Is the reason that they're not currently out adventuring. So it can be seen as bad drag.
If we were to somehow reimburse or pay the fine, could we reunite Moo with Lily after this is all said and done?
Well, I have no intent on keeping Moo here any longer. I did not think that since she had the letter, I thought that she should be able to get Moo back. Otant did not agree, but now I guess I'm in charge, so I will. I'm going to finish up the paperwork today to be able to release Moo back to Lily.
Okay, well, Lily will be pleased to hear that, I'm sure. Oh, just one moment, Oswald. I'll turn to the others. Uh, it seems that this Krizka character is our last possible lead. Can I look at the... No, we got it. You said that the grief seemed real. I was going to see if I could see their handwriting, Oswald's handwriting, if it matched the note, but it sounds like they're
you can
being honest.
most certainly do that. However, if you take a closer look at the note, you will notice that it has certain feminine characteristics to the handwriting, and ways in written and speech
Interesting.
that are feminine.
Something. Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind. Does anyone else have any other questions for Oswald?
None here.
Oh, by the way, Oswald, you're going to want to go up and refill 8 of the bottles that we used for your entrance exam.
Well, they refill as soon as the
Oh,
thing opens. So
that's convenient. Would it have killed us if we had gotten it wrong?
it depends on how many bottles that you put into the bowl.
Just looks back at Gudon. Well, I'm glad that we were correct.
It does fair amount of damage. Depends on. So if you had put, say, orange in first, it would have exploded and only done a certain amount of damage for that bottle. But if you had put red, orange, yellow in and then done blue instead of green, it would have done all 4 bottles worth of damage.
It's like an acidic or elemental dominoes, but bad. Okay.
Yes.
Really glad we know our colors then.
Yes, well, you could have done it by smells as well.
Hmm.
That
Right.
hard. So it is a headquarters for where we keep our griffins and our fighters when there is bad things happening in the city. We can't exactly have everyone walking around in here.
That's fair. Well, I guess then we should head off to meet this Krizka character. You said in the Sea Ward?
Yes.
Where the
Ward.
nobles live.
Yes. Where her father lives. Has a house by this. Is a noble. Doesn't necessarily mean that he lives where the rest of the nobles live.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, if you learn of any other information that would be useful for us, we are staying at the Yawning Portal, so
I will most certainly inform you if I learn of any other information.
yeah. I'll just turn and look at the others. Is anything else here?
Let's talk outside.
Alrighty. So Oswald is going to let you out. There's another door so you don't have to go back through everything. But he's going to show you where that door is so you can get in next time, if necessary, as well as that he's going to let you out that way so that you can with everything. So you are outside now. What would you like to do next?
As soon as we're out of earshot, I'll kind of get the party in and try to tell them what I saw in the letter. Oswald, on the letter on their desk, they confessed their love for Odhan and wished things could be different between them. I didn't think.
Wait, I'm sorry. Oswald confessed their love?
Yes. Wasn't really my
Oh.
place to bring it up in front of them. They just got emotional news and I didn't think
Oh.
rusting would be the best thing at the time.
Did their writing patterns match the one on the note we found?
Not from what I could get from a cursory glance at the table. The writing appeared somewhat more elegant, more flowery in nature than what he was working on. But if there's this character that in the Sea Ward that O10 had a relationship with or something, this might be our final lead. So
To the ward?
See ward it is. So it doesn't take that long to get there. It takes a few minutes. And the house that you approach is much bigger and much like in contrast to where you originally thought Oswald's and the Griffin Rider's house was. So this house is very Victorian in nature. Has the columns, has 3 stories. It's just humongous. It is the last house in the row before the foundation ends and the beach begins. You walk up to the door. What would you like to do?
May I fly up and kind of check over the property as a whole?
Absolutely, you can. There seems to not be a lot on the property. It seems to be very bare. Not any flowers, nothing like that. The thing of note is that there's the whole wall facing the sea is all glass.
All right. So after I do a couple circles, I'll come back down and tell that to the party.
Lovely.
And you mentioned this is where the foundation meets the beach.
Yes.
If I take out that little vial from earlier, does it look the dirt? Does it look like sandy in nature, or more like this is mud? It doesn't look like it would match that beach kind of soil.
It does not look like it would match the beach. It actually looked more like where John was looking for the fungus. Looks like that kind of soil.
Okay, interesting. Good to know. Okay.
What is your next move? You're at the door. Eric has told you that the entire wall facing the sea is made of glass. The land is very bare. And there's really a ton out there. What's next?
Gudon just sort of like looks at Relic.
It's worked every other time, and I'll go up and I'll go to knock on the door.
You knock on the door, and it opens up, and this bright redhead opens the door. And she's standing, probably she's very tall, she's about 6 foot. Human, and opens the door and says, can I help you?
Hi, is this the residence of Kriska?
Yes, that's me.
Kriska, I am sorry to be the one to inform you of this, but a man named Otan was found deceased this morning.
Oh, that's very unfortunate.
Yes, it's quite unfortunate, and we have been asked by the city to investigate the cause of his death, and so we are asking many folks in town who might have known him to help us figure out what happened. And we understand that you were an acquaintance of his.
That's one way of putting it, sure, yes.
Also, for everyone else in the party, Relic is happy to like sit back if anyone has any point would like to jump in to do the talking. He's just kind of been trying to lead the introductions, but please feel free to jump in. You said something that. Oh, go ahead, Bree.
Oh, when she's saying that's one way of putting it, in terms of being an acquaintance, what would be a second way?
Let's go with acquaintance for
Kari's eyes, like, she kind of starts like narrowing her eyelids and just watching her facial expression pretty intently throughout this.
fair enough. Um, would you like to come in? I have a place we can discuss further. If you have, since you probably have some more questions that you'd like me to answer.
Please.
Right this way. And she leads you inside the house, and the hallway that leads from the door, the walls of the hallway are made entirely of aquariums. So one half of it is saltwater aquariums and one half is freshwater. And so there's octopi, sea urchins, different types of fish, eels, all different kinds of sea animals, including like little sharks. And so it leads you past that. She doesn't even like have a second glance at it as if it was completely normal. Walk in a house with a bunch of aquariums, right? And she leads you to what you assume is the living room. And it's a large open space. There's a couple of couches and some chairs around a table, like a low table in the middle of the room, and it is in the same room as the glass wall. You can see out the wall to the beach. It's got a couple of doors, like French doors that open, and you can sit down. Motions for you too, and she says, well, I'd be happy to answer your questions in any way that I can.
Just as a note of flavor, Gudon, when they were going down that hallway, would have been like, oh, scrumptious, delicious. Yes, haven't tried that one. No, poisonous. Like just noting, mostly under his own breath to himself.
Fantastic. Yeah, she definitely, anytime you say like I haven't tried that yet, she gives you a little bit of a side eye. But doesn't say anything.
Can I do a quick little retcon, Fenway? You know how I mentioned Relic has like he wears kind of like it's sort of a scarf, more like a priestly vestment around his neck. Could I have put the Kraken pendant on, and I want to have it so it's just like slightly visible, so when I sit, he kind of like adjusts it so it kind of like hangs a little bit under, just so it's within sight.
Lovely.
I want to clock her when I like see if she notices it at any point.
She immediately noticed.
When she does, I go to kind of cover it up.
She kind of like makes eye contact with you, smiles a little bit, and then just sits down directly like across from you.
Okay. He's trying to be a little more indirect because I feel like asking everyone, he's been very like, so I want to say, if it's okay, like I told the party I had this idea as we were like walking up to the house. So like, hopefully everyone's not like, why the hell is Relic wearing that?
Got it. On
Fade her out.
On the short walk into this area, Kari would have like held back a little bit to kind of get Pitteric's attention. Pitteric, do you have like extra paper, parchment on you?
Sure. And he pulls out
Can
a pen and some paper.
Ooh, can I borrow it?
Yeah. Just
Thank you. I have an idea. It might not work. It's probably a really bad idea.
I don't even know.
And then she explains nothing.
Hell yeah.
Good luck.
Alrighty. Oh, you sit down, and what do you do next?
I say, well, I guess just what would be helpful is if you could let us know when the last time you saw Otan was.
And while you do that, placing the paper and the pen in front of her, could you also write down some of those details? Thank you. He wants to see if the handwriting matches up with the letter that they found on him.
Sure. Well, the last time I saw Otend was she looks back at Kari and down at the paper and picks up the pen. Was yesterday. And yesterday afternoon we were hanging out, and we went to see the new griffin that he has. And then we left. He went his way and I went mine.
I will wait for her to like catch my eyes again. And when she does, I want to use thaumaturgy to make my you can alter the appearance of your eyes for 1 minute, and I want to make my eyes appear like squid eyes for just a moment.
All right.
And have it just kind of blink away. And Kriska, what is the nature of your relationship with Otan? You said you all are acquaintances. What is it that you all would do together?
There's not really a label there. At the moment.
Well,
I guess there won't be. But,
and to be clear, Kriska, you can speak freely among us. We're friends.
yes. Well, I've only just met you. However, I am telling you the truth. We didn't put a label on anything.
Okay. Do you know of anyone who would want to bring harm against Otan?
Well, we were, sneaking around a little bit because my father isn't a huge fan of him. But really, no, I don't think so.
Where did your father get his wealth from?
Well, it's an inherited thing.
Ah. I'm gonna like absentmindedly look back towards the aquariums. Inquiry. These fish that you have, there's many of them. Are any of them dangerous? I don't know. I've heard of fish being poisonous.
Well, there's a puff of fish there, and if you eat that, it's not going to make your stomach very. And she looks pointedly at Gudon.
Really, there's several modern variations that you can use with that technique to make certain. But you're right, it takes an expert hand to do it.
And then, but nothing that'll hurt you unless you're like mean to it.
Okay. Oh, I think Relic's gonna kind of signal to the others that he's out of. He doesn't have any. Doesn't really know what else to push on.
You met? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, please.
No, please.
Okay, double.
We're gonna Canadian standoff this. Yeah.
I see how it is. Kari really has just been like staring at her as she's writing, and like as soon as she's done, Kari will be like kind of reaching for the paper, like, "Oh, thank you," and she's just gonna like try to look at it to see if she recognizes the handwriting as what we'd had earlier. I know we have the letter, but she's not going to pull it out quite yet.
Sure. It looks very similar. Maybe not identical because there's no misspellings. But yeah, very, very.
Understood. And she's going to kind of lean over towards Pitterick with this and be like, taking out the letter at this point. Just cross-referencing the other accounts from our earlier discussions and like trying to show Pitterick. Like, do you catch on? Her poker face is horrible. It's just like
lovely.
Can I tell what you said previously?
Yes. You are definitely able to tell. One thing that I will point out is now that you know her name, we'll be able to notice the A in Kneed, the I in E instead of SEE. The S in Mist, it's instead of mist, it's mizzed. The G in midnight.
Hmm.
And the instead of the second, it's the A in second.
I will. Play
Go
along.
ahead, DC.
Oh, sorry. I will play along and just go. Oh, let me make a note of this, and I'll take some ink and write on the back that I'm theorizing that it could have been a setup by someone else who doesn't know how to spell, but kind of knows the handwriting. I'll pass along. Just make sure everyone agrees with this observation or has other thoughts.
We're just comparing notes.
Telephone.
I will look to the others and we'll assume we've been adventuring for some time. I give you all a look like Relic is ready to make some shit happen, but is waiting for the party. Relic feels pretty confident that this is our person, but I don't want to be rash. So he'll say, this is very intriguing information, Krizga, that you've provided with us. I think that with this information now, we're all likely probably in agreement on who the primary suspect is, and we should probably head out to detain them quickly.
Oh, of course. If you did need to talk to my dad at all, let me know. He's around here somewhere.
Do you think that we should speak to Kriska's father, or do we have enough information?
I think we'll need another lead on this. We should get a better picture of what's going on. Father might be able to clue us into something.
Oh, you said your father didn't like him, right?
Correct.
Why didn't he like him?
He voted for Oswald and Ryder had election. He didn't like some of Otan's previous actions, and Oswald didn't win.
Okay. And your father's here, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
If you wouldn't, go get him.
That would be lovely.
Amazing. And so she walks towards the door, and as soon as she reaches the door swings open, and her dad walks in. And he's a little more on the shorter side. He just glares at all of you, and then whispers something, seemingly to no one. And then all of a sudden, the floor disappears, and so does the furniture you were literally just sitting on. Get everyone to make me a dexterity saving.
Would it help if I try to fly while I'm falling? I wasn't expecting to fall, but if I attempt to,
Yes, you
Right.
can. You can if you. So you can have advantage on your dexterity saving throw, and if you
Okay.
make it, you can fly up instead of falling.
Considering we're heading towards the end of this and we have 5 rerolls, is anyone? Well, I got an 11. I'm assuming that doesn't succeed.
No,
I
that
could-
doesn't.
Does anyone mind if Relic takes a reroll?
No objections.
All right, let's see if I have any better luck. A 14.
You will be able to succeed.
Okay.
Instead of taking a reroll, I'd like to try and do something a bit clever.
Alright.
As the floor goes out and he realizes he's not going to have time to deal with this, he's going to take his knapsack and just quickly put himself in his bag of holding.
All right. Yeah. No, you can absolutely do that.
All right, I rolled an 18 for my dex save.
Fantastic. You are able to most certainly fly up.
Okay,
Um,
I'm gonna
And
make sure the party members are all being safe and everything. If anyone looks like they're out of control, I'm gonna fly and try to help stop their.
you could grab the bag of holding if you would like to.
Sure, I'll grab the bag of holding and bring it on down.
Okay. Fantastic. You grab the bag of holding and bring it to the edge. So there's about 10 feet of floor on either side of this large pool that you going to fall into. What did you get?
16.
Okay, lovely. So everyone is able to get out of the pool, which then you notice that there are 4 sharks moving around in this pool that you are about to fall into.
Ooh.
Then, as soon as you don't fall into the pool, the Kriska and her father immediately start to change. And they change to the grossest of creatures. Maybe, okay, I take that back. Maybe not as gross as the slimy creature. But their mouth, imagine the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. But so their mouth opens on its sides, and they have tentacles instead of their hair, and they've got fins on their legs and their hands, and they've got it's just it's not a great situation there. So I put a picture of I described in the Discord chat, but it's a fun situation. So this is where everyone's going to need to roll initiative one last time.
It's an 8 from Relic.
Alrighty,
3 for Kari.
lovely.
6.
Eric,
6.
Gudon,
Trace.
Ooh.
Got a crit fail.
So, interestingly enough, Gudon and Kari, you also go at the same initiative roll again. I'm gonna let Gudon go first this time, but Relic with an 8. You are first in the initiative roll. However,
Woo!
so go right ahead and roll that.
All right, so I'm still on the edge because he said we caught ourselves if we made the save.
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna pull myself up. You hear the gears turning as I pull myself up, and I say, "We don't have to resort to violence." And I'm going to try to cast at level 3 hold person. to try and cast hold person on both of them. So
Okay.
I pull out a small straight piece of iron. It actually pops out of a little like socket in my hand, and I cast it. So at level 3, it allows me to cast it on 2 people.
Okay.
So they both need to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. So one of them is a 18.
That'll make it.
Lovely. The other gets an 8. Interesting.
Okay. So yeah, that's a so that they are paralyzed for 1 minute or until I lose concentration. At the end of each of their turns, they can make another wisdom saving throw.
Okay. So one of them, because you cast it so soon, one of them is stuck in between changing between their
Oh.
humanoid form and their scion form. So they're like half and half at this point in time.
Oh.
It is
Which one
not
failed?
a preference.
Uh,
It matters. Do you have a preference?
I think we'll say Krizga failed.
Okay.
Relic has like a weird, just I don't know. He's like thinking that maybe she's being manipulated in the situation. I don't know. So hopefully she's stuck, and now we just got to deal with the nobleman.
Sure.
And father. All right. I can only hold one of them, but if anyone else wants to deal with Papa.
And to note, the dad has changed into his alternate form now, so he is not able to use.
That's a good point.
Alrighty.
Thank you for letting me know that.
Yes, of course. So it is his turn now. So he's going to rush at you, like
Makes sense.
and is going to try and bite and claw you. So the first attack is a 23 with bite.
That'll
And
definitely
then
hit.
a 9 with his claw. And then
That'll
a 10 with his.
Yeah, so the bite will definitely hit. The other
Okay,
two will miss.
fantastic. So 6 damage is what you take.
Okay.
6 piercing damage.
Okay. And I roll advantage on my saving throw or my Constitution saving throws because of Warcaster, and I got a 14, so I'm good. Because my first one was a 1, so I'm glad that was with advantage. So I pictured as like Relic holding up his arm, and the guy he's got his jaw like anytime now, anyone.
Yes, pretty much. So that means it is Bitterick.
All right. Will it be my action to get our friend out of his bag of holding?
No, it will not be. Use your interact with action object to kind of like just dump it over.
Okay. Sure thing. And then I'd like to fly up a little if I could.
First.
And let's just go for it. Let's cast Lightning Bolt at 4th level.
Perfect. So dexterity saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
He crit failed, so how about a 3?
All right. Yeah, he'd have to beat a 14, so nope. Okay.
Unfortunately, does not have a plus 13 to his dexterity.
Oh, darn.
So that's 31 points of lightning damage.
Ouch. Alrighty.
And I will note
Um,
that that is a spell
and
of
to note
cast.
is so lovely. Let's just, for the fun of it, roll on a wild magic table.
41.
Lovely. You turn into a potted plant until the start of your next turn. While a plant, you are incapacitated and have vulnerability to all damage.
All right, so I'm falling. I just need a whale next to me, and this would be perfect. But
I will note, Gudon, you were dumped onto shore or land previous to you're turning into a plant.
Perfect.
The plant is now like sitting and floating on the top of the water. The sharks are not paying attention to any of you if you're not in the water.
Fair enough.
So it is your turn, Gudon.
Okay, a lot is going to depend on the success or failure of this next roll. I'm going to cast Enlarge Reduce on the father. All he has to do is make a Constitution saving throw DC 15.
Lovely. Are you enlarging or reducing him?
Oh, I'm reducing him.
I think my dice heard you. Because I rolled a 2, which means I get a 6.
Fair enough. So Gudon is just going to walk up to him. All right, then, and just tap him. He shrinks a full-size category. And then, can I just kind of lift him up by his scruff of his neck, like a cat doing bad things, like a child? Do I need to roll a? Okay, and going to just very quietly, like walking forward, grabs him up by the scruff of his neck, hangs him out over the pool of water with sharks, and he just like looks at him and he says, "Right, so you did a murder, and now you're going to die for it. You're going to die for it. For a murder. Are you?
I didn't do it.
Well, it doesn't matter if you did it or not. You're a fucking muppet, aren't you? What is all of this? You traded your soul to a kraken for extended life, and now you're going to throw that extended life away fighting? Just go to jail. You'll be off in a few years with a good lawyer. This is ridiculous. Or should I just drop you now and we can see how hungry the sharks are that you have kept here?
Please do drop me.
You said it. I don't think I will.
At the thought of you dropping him, he looks very happy about it. But he kind of just like is trying to bite at you and claw at you, but you're holding him up away from you, and he's just like flailing around. Then we'll stop once he realizes he cannot get the upper hand up.
Right. All right. So, bag it is, and just grabs bag of holding, shoves into bag, cinches tightly.
Okay. Well, I guess that's where we're ending this today. Lovely.
Yeah, can while he's doing that, Relic go over and just take some manacles and put them on the still held daughter?
Yes. Fantastic. Well, that was most certainly a very interesting end to this. I think that's the quickest end I've had of this combat. Yeah, I'm gonna let you all.
Yeah, I gotta steal that idea. That's such brilliance.
It is. It most certainly is. I'm gonna let you all outro yourselves. Tell people where they can find you on the internets, that sort of thing, and then we'll get out of here. I'll let you have the rest of your evening to yourselves. Bree.
Awesome. Well, first of all, I had so much fun. Thank you so much, Fenway, Baldman Games. Awesome players. This was a blast. My name is Bree. You can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Brianna Flame. When I am not doing awesome stuff with Jasper's Game Day, because I'm so proud and honored to be an ambassador for such an awesome charity, I am a channel organizer, sometimes game master over on the Initiative Order here on Twitch. And I'm a cast member every other Friday on Second Star to the Right, which is a Neverland 5e D&D game. And I have a barking dog. I don't know if you ever were able to hear that, but I apologize. That's pretty much where you can find me. Thank you again so much, Fenway. This was so much fun.
Lovely. Thank you again for playing, Bree. DC.
All right. Thank you, Fenway. This was great. I really had a fun time. So hi, everyone. I'm DC. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram under DC Lasair. That's DC Lasair. I stream on my own channel Mondays through Fridays, doing video games. Right now I'm playing Lost Ark. I'm also a producer over at Gilding Light, where I produce a bunch of streams. And I'm going to have my own show on there coming back soon called the Echoing Dark. That's what we decide on. Yeah. So that'll be in a couple weeks. So please check that out. Follow me on Twitter. Find out when it comes up. And if you like folk horror, check out the stream.
Lovely. Riley.
Hi, I'm Riley Gritch, and I exist.
Fantastic. And Nick.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, my name's Nick. I'm so honored to have been a part of this. Being a Jasper's Game Day ambassador is definitely a highlight of my year. I am also the community manager for Shard Tabletop, so you'll sometimes see me using that on my own streams and also running the various social media accounts there. But most importantly, I run Scry Society, which is we run monthly charity one shots, kind of similar to this one. And our next one is this upcoming Saturday, where we will be raising money for Black Girls Code. And that's Saturday the 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern, and you can find us here on Twitch at Scry Society. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you again. This was such a blast, Fenway. It's really great to get to play with you as well as all the folks on the cast today.
And thank you all so much. My name is Fenway Jones, also known as Fenway the Teen DM on Twitter and at Jasper's Game Day and all of the social medias. You can find me there all the time. You can also find us at jaspersgameday.com if you're interested in supporting us. Just reach out. Love to work with everyone and anyone. And thank you so much to Baldman Games for running this weekend, and our lovely producer Ted for being behind the scenes and doing all of this work that is not just simply pressing buttons. It is a lot more than that. So thank you so much, everyone, for being part of this.